Is it shocking to anyone that Euron's actor is just as crazy in real life? Also, I can't get over that it was confirmed that Euron loves Cersei. Just... okay. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't that invested in the Jaime-Euron fight because I was too focused on the rest of King's Landing and Dany going mad, but Pilo, Euron's actor, did have a lot to say on Euron's state of mind, why he took on Jaime, and the fact that he loved Cersei. Also, he defied the director and showrunners, so yikes. First, he had a way he wanted to play Euron, and he completely went with it, stating, "When we did the throne room scene in season 7 where Euron is in front of Cersei and goes like, 'I always wanted to grow up to marry the most beautiful woman in the world, so here I am with 1,000 ships and 2 good hands.'"
What do you want in return?
Ever since I was a little boy, I wanted to grow up and marry the most beautiful woman in the world. So here I am, with 1,000 ships and 2 good hands.
I always wanted to act like he meant it. So at the end, this is a guy you don't want to see him die, which is a very important note. But that said, he got stabbed with a sword through the chest, so there's a pretty big possibility he's gonna die. That said, I think he meant it. He's the one who got Jaime Lannister, a guy who he has admired because Jaime has been one of the best fighters in the world, and is the Kingslayer, and has created a name for himself.
I saw you. I heard so much talk. The best in the world, no one can stop him. I didn't believe it, to be honest. But I must say, when you rushed through the breach and started cutting people down, it was glorious. Like a dance.
And I'm a supporting cast member, and my storyline has to be related to the main cast members. That helps as well, you know. If there was a couple more seasons, maybe it would have been Jaime Lannister saying, "I'm the man who got Euron Greyjoy." But I don't know. I like that he thought that Euron was the character that people didn't want to see die, because from what I saw, a lot of people wanted you to die, dude. I'm sorry, but I understand rooting for your own character. I mean, I would too. I do understand him wanting the glory of killing Jaime Lannister, but unfortunately the Rocks did that, but I guess he doesn't know that, and if Jaime had escaped King's Landing, Euron's mortal blows would have been the thing to kill him, so you got something, Euron. You got something. But that last part is important. Apparently the actor for Euron wanted to leave it open whether Euron survived or not, and he actually defied the showrunners and the director for the episode. So he shared, "The reason why I didn't want to die on screen is because I thought it would be so much fun to tease Game of Thrones creators Dan D.B. Weiss and David Benioff, because of course they wrote the scene as if he would die. So did episode director Miguel. He wanted to direct it as if he would die, but I didn't want to do that, because you know sometimes you gotta take a piss at the showrunners, and I was like, what if I don't die? What if I just smile and look off?" And they were like, "Yeah, that's nice." In fact, when the director said, "Okay, now shut your eyes," after the fight was over, he refused. He went, "No," and he left his eyes open and smiled, so I don't know if I'd be so brave to defy the director, but you gotta admit, Euron's actor has some balls on him.
I'm the man who killed Jaime Lannister.
Anyways, let's continue on with how Euron loves Cersei and why he took on the Kingslayer. And I kind of feel like Euron's actor added more depth into his character than D&D did, so I kind of give him kudos on that. But let's start with him explaining why Euron decided to fight Jaime. Okay, there's several reasons. Reason 1 is his entire fleet just got burned down by a dragon. That's pretty devastating for a guy. He's been swimming several miles in his leather suit, so he's tired and he doesn't want to go out on a boat again for a while. And he loves the queen, Cersei, and the queen will always be in love with her brother, Jaime Lannister. So for him to get the woman he loves, he needs to kill the guy. And if he can go and show her the head of Jaime Lannister, she will be so afraid of Euron Greyjoy that he would make her be with him so he could reign with power. And he's one of those guys that want to see the world burn. I could give you a long story about why, etc., and so on, but at one point you just gotta go with what is given, and how they want to do the scene, and that's how they wanted it. They wanted Euron and Jaime to fight. Also, I think because Dan and David might have thought it would be fun to have two Danes fight each other. But I think Euron wanted to kill Jaime for the love of Cersei. Wow, so Euron actually legitimately loves Cersei. I guess I didn't see that. I thought it was just a dude that wanted power. Not that he couldn't love her and want power. I got the feeling that they both were manipulating each other, but maybe I'm just a cold-hearted person? I guess you can let me know in the comment section down below. Not if I'm a cold-hearted person. I already know the answer to that. Whether you believe Euron legitimately loves Cersei, or if that just did not come across. Also, does this mean this scene?
And our child shall one day rule them all.
Fooled Euron, and he was legitimately happy at the thought of getting the woman he loved pregnant? I thought he was pretending and knew it was Jaime's. This actually makes me re-look at every scene he was in with Cersei. Like this one.
It's boring.
You're not boring. I'll give you that.
Do I please the Queen?
What if he was going over the top in bed to try to please her and hope to get her love and outdo the Kingslayer? I guess it does seem a bit insecure to bring up other lovers post-sex for the first time.
So, how do I compare to the Fat King?
You're insulting my late husband.
Are you offended?
Robert had a different whore every night. But he still didn't know his way around a woman's body.
And the Kingslayer?
But I thought he was just trying to be his normal, antagonistic self. I just don't know anymore. Did Euron's actor make this all up? Or is this legitimately how Euron felt? I really want to know. Interestingly, the actor for Euron also shared whether he actually thought he could kill Jaime and his thought that he had, saying, "Sometimes you switch off your brain and you do what you have to do that you are told to be by the director and the writers. But that said," I'm kidding. That said, no, he's that kind of guy. He's in self-denial. He just wants to see the world burn, you know what I mean? He just wants to see people die. That I can believe. The dude's a sadist. Lastly, he actually weighed in on a lot of people being pissed off about episode 5 and Dany going cray-cray. So on it, he said, "First of all, the diversity of the fans and the passion they bring to the table is admirable. And you want to have it all. You want to have the ones that go, 'This is the greatest show ever made.' And you want to have the people that go, 'I hate this show. I've always hated it. I want the books now.' You can't satisfy 1 billion people. It's not possible. But you want to have them commit to the show, even if they don't like it. There was a guy called P.T. Barnum who said, 'There's no such thing as bad press. There's only press.' And I welcome everyone, people I agree with or people I disagree with, and I have on social media been discussing Game of Thrones with fans, and I will continue to do that. Because you owe the fans information, and they need a place where they can ask questions about what they like or dislike, and it's totally cool. It's passionate. And you've gotta love that. Besides that, for me, the twist and turns was logical, because this is Game of Thrones, and people have to die. And I would be very, very surprised if we end up with a happy ending next week. I know how it's gonna end, so I'm not gonna say a word. But Dan and David have delivered for 7 seasons, admirable content, and I would say they have delivered extremely well again this season. But again, you can't please everyone. You know, I do believe there is such thing as bad press. I mean, look at what's happening with certain channels on YouTube, but I'll just leave it at that. But what do you think? Do you actually think Euron was in love with Cersei? Do you agree with everything Euron's actor said? And did you like or dislike episode 5? Because this fan base is tearing themselves apart. Let me know in the comment section down below.